Okay.
All right.
This is the first time we've ever recorded the podcast.
And no one's asked for this.
Visual and audio.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I hear you every week. You bet you do. This is so, and that's what today's topic is, the banning of TikTok. I'm sure you guys haven't heard enough about it. Why not have one more thing?
I've stayed abreast of the situation.
But Corey said, what marketers are we? To not...
Who are we?
What, to not use...
What we have?
The YouTube. So a lot of you guys have asked us to record the podcast, the audio, the visual. Why haven't we done it? What is your guess? I have my theory.
Because I didn't want to get super ready on Tuesdays.
Didn't want to get super ready, and we're also in a very small room.
Very teeny tiny room. It's an office,
which
is okay.
The tripods between Corey and I right now, why you guys can't see them, I'm looking.
I'm talking to a bar.
But we decided that we would do this time and see if we can keep this doing, and then cross post these to YouTube Shorts, like the good little marketers we are.
Yes. If you're seeing us for the first time, what is the Baking It Down podcast?
I would say it's an outtake of the group on Facebook where we can see pertinent marketing issues in regards to baking.
Yeah.
And talk about one particular issue, or
topic,
or
marketing nugget, or no,
each week, which we've been doing since 2021.
I don't know. I'm out of words at this point.
We're almost at our 200th episode.
Oh, really? New music coming up?
No promises. But this will be our first recorded episode.
Yes, this is our first recorded. I just want to say, if you're thinking about, a lot of times it has to be perfect before it can be done. Here's the thing. Me and Heather are in a tiny room. We're looking through bars of plastic.
Corey's in front of my snake. If it slithers around, you're going to see it.
It doesn't need to be perfect to be done. A lot of times we learn along the way. I remember I held myself back from making a lot of video content for Instagram Reels and for TikTok because I felt like my room didn't have enough light.
Well, yes, you have. The problem is we fall in love with this concept of what I want to
be.
And then when we turn on the cameras, we're like, this looks grumpy.
This is horrible.
This is not what I wanted. And then we're like, well, then I'll start doing it when I get it to. Oftentimes, we'll never get it to that place unless we attempt it.
Right. And work from the base.
Yes.
The worst. And you start... My first few reels and TikTok, I didn't have the audio was not going. Yeah, but listen, I posted it. Someone's like, I don't hear anything. I was like, that's good because there's nothing here.
So even as I was turning on these cameras, we have these two cameras, these two weird tripods. We have the audio equipment. It's all recorded externally and taken to Premiere. Like I said, this could not work. It likely won't.
There's so many things that can go wrong.
There's got to be so many can go wrong ones for the one to start going right. And I think a lot of times marketing in life, but in marketing, we're like, when it's perfect, then I'll push it out. Yeah. And it's never going to be perfect.
And with the way that marketing goes, with the ebbs and floats of trends and things, by the time you get it locked and loaded, like that trend is gone.
So anyways, we'll be launching on TikTok. Okay, but that actually brings us to this topic. And I'm not sure how long these cameras will last. The TikTok ban. And Corey's like, let's make a list. But I really want to talk more cognitively about it. Like lessons learned here, big takeaways, and I guess future predictions. Not that anyone consults us before they make
they don't.
National.
I have enjoyed following it.
Corey has been my news source.
I don't know why it had me in a chokehold. I think because it's never happened before. So to see something that's never happened before, granted, did it really happen? No.
Here's the interesting part. Okay, the backstory is TikTok. TikTok was called ByteDance long ago.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance. It started off, there was an app called Musical.ly.
Oh, Musical.ly.
ByteDance bought Musical.ly and changed it to TikTok.
Now, this was around 2019 or 2020? This was right before COVID.
Yeah, this was right before COVID.
This is the biggest boon for this platform was the fact that we were all having to stay home.
Locked in there. And it started off with a bunch of dance trends.
Yeah, and that's what it was known for. And it was a weird part of it. But then because of lockdown, that's literally the time I downloaded it as well. Everyone's like, that's actually more than that. So when you downloaded the algorithm, I think it's the algorithm is what we really like. I think we like the short form, vertical scrolled video content.
Here's the thing I love about TikTok is it's not polished. So someone can be like, here's my royal icing recipe. And they're in their dark kitchen. It's not this gorgeous white backdrop. It's not curated content like you find on Facebook and Instagram Reels.
And YouTube.
But TikTok is more like down and dirty. Here's the recipe. I make this every day for my kids and they love it. So here's this recipe you can have at home. And you can just almost like ask the questions. And I feel like I'm talking to the person directly.
Here's my other theory. I feel like TikTok rewards that type of content, which perpetuates more of it.
Yeah.
So we see that more of that curated content, if you can go viral on Instagram, more of that curated content is tended towards that. Versus Instagram's like, you may or may not go viral, and you have no idea which content may or may not go viral, but just keep pushing it out. And I think therein lies, I guess because it didn't go anywhere. Laid. The secret of what?
The sauce, the secret sauce of TikTok was. Yeah. And I want to say though, okay, TikTok was gone for 24 hours, less than.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sourdough pancake mix. That is very specific. I tried searching it on Facebook.
They named it after me. Very thick.
I tried searching it on Facebook. When I searched it on Facebook, all I got was people selling sourdough pancake mix. I want to know how to make it. I couldn't go to Instagram and search it.
Were you really using TikTok search to find that stuff?
TikTok search is the place that I go to find it. So it's so in tune because there's so many tutorial based. Whereas Facebook, I think, is this like, here's my storefront. I sell from here. Here's me selling this pancake mix. Whereas on TikTok, I can get there and figure out how to make it.
Right. So we have not only the algorithm, we have the search feature.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of components that make these platforms what they are, right? Okay. So TikTok, owned by ByteDance, was Musical.ly, owned by a Chinese based company, and a cybersecurity risk.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know everyone here. I know all you guys biting at the bit to tell me you don't care about TikTok. It's not about whether or not you care about it. It's about the fact that it's a marketing platform that was here one day and gone the next.
Yeah.
That's what the topic is. I had unlocked so many threads. I got so tired of it. I don't care. TikTok's gone. I never downloaded it. Anyways, yeah, you're on Instagram Reels. You're seeing the same content 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So the thing is, and I'm going to call that type of virtue signaling. Like, I don't care. Like, then don't just scroll.
Yeah, then it has nothing to do with you kind of thing.
But from a marketing aspect, imagine that. Gardy's is good, he's great. When I always referenced her in regards to TikTok, because I think she was like an early adopter. She found her niche, and then she leaned into it. And I think you said, how many followers did she have?
She has over 1 million.
A million followers. She's a cookier that took TikTok and made it work. Then all eggs, single basket.
I know.
Then you see these major creators are like, hey, can you go follow me on Instagram?
Yeah.
And, that was like a weird departure. Granted, TikTok was banned for 0.25 seconds, and then it slowly came back. Unfortunately, in my disciplined era, I uninstalled it when it got banned, and then it won't let me download it again.
For us who never uninstalled it, it went dark at 10 o'clock on Sunday night and
Eastern.
Came back around 8, 9 o'clock Monday morning.
Right. So it's a crazy thing. And the lesson here is the diversification of marketing, but the realization that none of it is truly owned.
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of people say, you own your website and you own your email list. No, you're renting those. You own nothing of the internet. You own your content.
Yeah.
I can agree with that one. But the minute you upload it, you don't own it anymore.
Right. Then it's out in the world.
You can own all the content in the world, but if it exists only in this room and it never gets uploaded, it's worthless.
Yeah.
So the value of our content is not owned by us.
Yeah.
But we are slaves to these constant uploads, these algorithms, right?
Yeah.
So you could have uploaded, you had the greatest content strategy, you're growing, you're consistent, and then snap of a finger, lights off.
Gone.
What are you left to do? Now, I know everyone's like, well, I knew I wasn't using TikTok. Listen,
right.
Stop saying that. If you only used Facebook, I said to Corey, this is a great example. Like a lot of our funnel is based in Facebook.
Yeah.
If Facebook pulled this same stunt, what would we do?
And
I don't think we have.
Faces on YouTube.
Yeah. So we spent the last week saying, what would we do? And Corey was like, well, probably a diversification of lead acquisition, right? So a lot of times we get you into the sugar cookie marketing group. If you guys want to know the back end, you guys obviously know how this works. We need you to get into the cookie college that funds this, and then we can go run the group. But that's very Facebook centric. I'll say that we send out a newsletter a week, but it's very aligned with this podcast. The podcast is a differentiator, right? So we're on Buzzsprout as the host, and it pushes out to Spotify. But Corey's like, as far as like lead gen source, we don't touch YouTube.
We don't, but it's a treasure trove.
It's a treasure trove. It's a great discovery asset. Yeah. So typically on Facebook, and Facebook's gotten better about recommending new stuff. I know a lot of people complain, all I'm seeing is recommendations for groups.
Yeah.
That's discoverability, right? That's Facebook saying, hey, we think you join this group, so you might like this one. That's kind of a newer thing. these recommending groups.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of annoying. It's at the bottom of your comment section. Yeah, but that's discoverability.
Yeah.
YouTube has only existed kind of in terms of discoverability.
And when I was saying the best part about TikTok is searching how-tos, that is what YouTube has always been.
How-tos, right. And because then when, you know, did Google buy YouTube? I don't think it initially owned it. Now when you Google search, you get snippets that include YouTube videos, another great version of discoverability. So imagine, in terms of SEO, imagine this podcast is called How to Start Selling Sugar Cookies. Well, a lot of people start their search on how to sell sugar cookies on Google.
Yeah.
Imagine this YouTube video shows up and you're like, well, this is exactly the content I needed. Let me subscribe. And in my content, again, we're building a funnel here.
Yeah.
In the content, that first video you watch, it says, here's everything you need to sell cookies. And if you want to learn more, join us over in our Facebook group. It's free. When you get to our Facebook group, we say, hey, join us over on thecookiecollege.com. You can sign up and I'll teach you these classes, right? So you see how the funnels exist.
Yeah.
The problem is, in the funnels, or if they're a singular funnel and a giant piece of it gets taken out, like TikTok, where do the people go? How do they find you? Do you have that backup plan?
Right.
A lot of you guys could resonate better with this if the TikTok thing isn't clicking. If your page was hacked tomorrow,
Which happens
if your
all the
personal
time.
profile was hacked tomorrow, what would you do? Would your lead source stop there?
A few years ago, people who are just tuning in probably don't know this, but a few years ago, I was on Facebook short list because I misspelled a few words.
Corey said, who did you meet your husband?
So what happened was 30 days I was banned from using any of the Meta platform.
And Corey got really frustrated because she was like, this is my job, like creating content on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was not just Corey's personal profile. She could not post to pages. And that was actually our clients.
Yeah.
So Corey'd be like, hey, can you post this for one more time? It was very frustrating.
It was very frustrating. But here's the thing. If all my leads came from Facebook, I put all my eggs in the Facebook basket, and that was taken away. For 30 days, I could not market. Where that means Valentine's Day, out, because that happens within the 30 days.
Just in the fact that you cannot post to social media saying that you're taking orders, imagine that. Then that's when you start clicking this. You start saying, okay, I need an email list, a meta-based platform I can't use. YouTube I can, TikTok I can.
Yeah.
Let's say Threads you invested in. You got one of those weird offshoots of the TikTok one nobody's going to use. X if you are using Twitter.
Yeah.
Like these are the ones that you could kind of pivot to. And then your website. A website's a great one. Google business listing. These are all avenues to gain these leads. A lot of us use Facebook exclusively. And then we say, well, I have this thing, but do you use it? No, if it's not a part of your lead source thing, it's not being utilized.
Yeah.
The way you grow these platforms is investing in them.
Here's the biggest thing I saw. Creators who maybe had like a following of 50 or 60,000, nothing to sneeze at, right? We're like, go follow me on Instagram. On Instagram, they only had 100 followers. Your impact on something that
your social proof.
Your social proof
evaporated.
So while you did have an account on Instagram, you've never given it the time of day, and it sat there. It's deteriorated over these.
Right, because now we have this kind of like not in the algorithm account.
So now TikTok is being taken away, and you're like, go follow me over here where you've not posted. There's no social proof. The content doesn't align. Like now you're still growing from scratch. And how many people even went from TikTok to Instagram? Not very many.
Here's the complexity of it, though. We only have so much time in the day.
You do.
So you can see that these automations, you can see it through AI, but an app like Zapier.
Yeah.
Zapier. You can say, when I post this here, post it there. Cross-post it. Right. But then we have that not originally designed content. And therein lies the difficulty of diversification in marketing.
Yeah.
It's just so much time in the day.
What would be, me and you have done it specifically when the vending blending came around, trying to post to everything, be there, all of the places, was a lot. That was taking probably 4 hours of the day just to get that content out there. So if someone is a one-man show, when they have to bake the cookies, how could they get around and maybe show up on each platform, but not necessarily 5 hours out of the day?
I hate this recommendation, but I think it's the only solution. Instead of spending 5 hours a week marketing on Facebook, you spend 3 hours a week marketing on Facebook, 1 hour marketing on Instagram, and 1 hour marketing on a platform not owned by Meta.
Well, I will say with these videos that we're taking here, it's not just going to be on YouTube. There's YouTube Shorts, which is going to be a funnel to the YouTube video.
You should just call it the YouTubes.
YouTube. But also, these clips can be used on both Instagram and TikTok.
Right. So one piece of content, that's kind of what we talked about. There's an ideal world where you create unique pieces of content for each platform and they're not cross-posted.
Could never be made.
It's just not enough time of the day. That's in the perfect world. We don't live in one. Okay, so you can hire your kid to do it. You can hire a third party to do it. Again, now we have additional cost because we spent our money to buy back our time.
Right.
Options. Or I think what most of us will find ourselves in is like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. I'm going to focus on the 3. If 2 go, I'll still have the 1.
Yes.
If 1 goes, I still have the 2. And I'm going to be consistent. So here's what, if I was a baker, if I was only speaking to bakers, not speaking to how we use it, I would say email list most definitely.
The best bang for the buck, mostly because emails still appear chronological.
I love them, and they're very external to social media. So Corey said, algorithmically, Instagram used to be chronological, meaning when you post, the time you posted it is when you showed up, right?
Yeah. So when someone logged in, I saw Heather posted 10 minutes ago, Corey posted 20 minutes ago, Sheila posted 30 minutes ago.
Right, which was great because you didn't earn that spot on the feed.
Yeah.
You just posted and chronologically got the spot, right? It is like you pulled into a parking lot and that spot was open. Then it became, you pulled into the parking lot and only the coolest car got the best spot and the ugliest car had a park actually across the street.
Yeah.
And that is where the algorithm kind of dictated where the content, okay, but emails still show up chronologically. It's one of the few places where that still exists.
And my heart depends on it. Every school cancellation, I'm like, chronological did no, principal didn't.
Right. So you can say, let me scroll back to yesterday. I've gotten no emails.
Yeah.
So I really like email. It takes a while to build. It's annoying to send out. Right. So we've been, the group, we have a Facebook group, 50,000 people, right? We have a Facebook page. There's 100,000 of that bloated follow button. And then Instagram's 30,000, TikTok's 15,000. Email list has been around since the origin of all this, and it's only 8,000. So it tells you how hard it is to get people to opt in. It's hard. Because they're like, well, I don't really use my email. I like social media.
Yeah.
And there's a reason because the social media has an algorithm that's here to get you to stay.
Yeah, I can go and interact it if I want to, but it's not clogging up my inbox.
Right. I don't know. Now when somebody asks for my email address, like a company, I'm like,
but they're all,
what are you going to do?
They're saying, you want this 15%?
No, I don't want 10% off. I'll pay full price. And then when you say I don't want to do my email, it says, so you're okay with paying full price. Yeah. So you're an idiot financially is what you're doing.
Right.
So we have that email one and have a website. The website... Everyone's like, on your website. You don't own Google search. So you own your website.
If you own your website and it appears on page 52.
What is the good as a website, right? But at least when you hand somebody your business card, you cut out all the social media, all the search.
All trying to find.
All these algorithms. So I like that. So we have email, we have website. And then I'm going to recommend 2 social platforms for a baker.
Okay.
I'm going to do Facebook.
Yeah.
And Instagram. But if you want to separate Facebook page and Facebook group, not your own group, working for a group, I would drop Instagram. Now, people who are very Instagram centric, I'd switch those out, right?
Yeah.
A lot of you guys focus on Facebook. I do think Facebook is designed very well for kind of this astroturfing bakeries and stuff. But also using your personal profile to grow your presence in a group where you can sell.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of work. That one's a lot of work.
It does. And here's the thing. You're like, you guys just talked about being on YouTube. YouTube isn't necessarily, just look at, it's a tutorial based system. So it's better for passive income for bakers. So if I'm already going to make this royal icing recipe, if I film it, post it to YouTube, I can make some passive income via views. My clients are going to find the value in how to make royal icing. They're paying me to do it.
Right. So discoverability. Why are people, somebody had asked me in the cookie college, they're like, hey, you're going to do a tutorial on YouTube Shorts. And I was like, well, it kind of matches the TikTok and Instagram Reels concept. Yeah. I said, but the content there is going to be other bakers. That's what it's going to appeal to because your client's not going to be like, how did she put the icing on this cookie? Right?
Yeah.
So that's why we don't focus on teaching necessarily that type of content as much as the other ones where it's like, hey, you want to buy this. You don't want to learn how I did it.
Right.
And unless you want to take a cookie class, which I'm also selling. So those are the ones that I'd focus on. Do you agree or not?
I agree.
Also, I'm under the weather if you guys couldn't tell.
We
With
can
my
tell.
sultry voice.
Here's the thing, TikTok, and I've seen it happen to many bakers. The bakers will get on there and they're like, here's me and the set I just decorated. Okay. No views. Okay. Then they're like, here's how I made this royal icing recipe. Okay, they're getting more views. It's other bakers.
Right.
Then when I see them,
Or
it's clicking.
like ASMR things.
ASMR things.
Yeah.
I see it clicking. They're like, you know what? My clients, my mom and pop having the birthday party aren't on here. So what I'm going to do is start selling to bakers, and I'll see them have a recipe, a little PDF file,
Digital
something
downloads,
like that.
yeah.
So they have changed their audience.
Which is fine. If that's your
fine.
goal, if you're like, hey, I want to make passive income, I want to sell to bakers,
Yeah.
then I'm going to have a completely different
Yeah.
recommendation for you. But if you're like, my goal is to create local leads, that I'm going to go right back to that email list, that website, Google My Business if you want to consider it.
Love it.
That one I would say put it at the top if you want to consider that social media, which it does have that component to it now, and Facebook working in a group as the end user.
Thoughts on Nextdoor?
Nextdoor isn't, when I talk about it in the group, it's not as pervasive. So I don't see a ton of people. If your community isn't active, it's not active.
True.
You can create one, but if you're talking to yourself, again, there's no point.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
So for some people, I'd say Nextdoor, and for some people, I'll say wouldn't. But those ones right there, what we listed are the major ones.
Yeah, where your user base already exists, that's where the money's at. Because you're not reinventing the wheel.
All these people say TikTok gets us banned. Everyone runs to what are the Lemonade, which got banned as well.
Blue Sky, Flip.
Okay, the
Neptune.
issue with that, early adopters are early adopters because they took the risk.
Yes.
They said, there's nobody here, I'm going to create content. They get to ride the wave of very freeing algorithms. The algorithm's like, I'm going to have 5 users to push out. On the flip side, if the user base never comes to watch, did you waste your time? So a friend of mine, Mikey, he was like, hey, which one of these should I download? I was like, well, TikTok got a ban, so none.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't think the user base is going to leave because we splintered.
Yes, we splintered. It was splintered too much.
Yeah.
The problem is because TikTok was such a huge company, Meta is a huge company, they can back the creators by these reward programs. Incentives, which always is monetary. The problem is the chicken or the egg. So Neptune popped up out of this TikTok ban. It's not even launched till March. Like you missed the boat. The boat is like they're set sail.
I mean, considering a user base that's already established and still how hard it is to launch a platform, Threads. Threads. It was integrated into Facebook and Instagram, and it was still their amount of users that first day reached 100 million, and then it's deteriorated ever since.
Here's the great thing: now Threads has a rewards program.
Genius.
Yeah.
So you have that. So the big concept here now, and now TikTok's back, and whether or not it gets sold to an American company,
it's been the most interesting
delayed. Yeah. Now I think is it back or is there a stay on it?
There's a stay, and it's not 90 days anymore. It's 75.
So this could happen all again. Is it? Here's my take. And now we're just getting a little off topic. Was it a marketing ploy? Okay. Outside of the Supreme Court and the judicial system, was this great marketing for TikTok?
I think this was great marketing, but I also think it was the chicken. Like, who's going to play chicken first?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go dark? Are you going to help us?
Do you think this... A lot more people were talking about TikTok this week than I've ever seen talking about TikTok.
Absolutely. Here's what's crazy is the TikTok ban, the whole thing came about a year ago. This was just
That's what I've seen. A lot of people panicking. Everyone's like, well, this was always going to happen.
This was always a thing. And that's why a lot of people 1 year ago focused on other platforms in the meantime.
Corey had a great example. Like some of these creators will be like, hey, on TikTok for the last year, hey, I'm running a giveaway on my Instagram. Enter it over there and I'll announce it here. Yeah. And you can see that they're pulling that audience over, trying to differentiate their marketing lead source.
Just in case, because if TikTok were to go, they were smart enough to bring people to the platform that was staying.
Yeah, very, very interesting from a marketing standpoint. Now, you can say, well, I'll never get on TikTok, or I the cybersecurity risk. Okay, it's not about TikTok. Yeah. It's about the diversification of marketing. If Facebook went away, well, I'm not on Facebook. If Instagram went away, I'm not on. If whatever you use to gain your leads goes away.
Yeah.
Well, no, I do word of mouth. If they all died. There is the thought that what you use to get leads could leave tomorrow. Would you be okay? If you're not, you need to start making that plan.
Right.
Act as if you have 1 year, like these TikTok creators, act as if you have 1 year to start pulling that base, that user base over to this other platform. Because, okay, we have 50,000 people in the group, 8,000 people on the email list. They're all from the group. They all sign up during the
that's where they find it, yeah.
That's 8,000, but it's definitely not 50,000. But it's 8,000 if the 50,000
versus 0.
Okay, now here's the other thing. Okay, I got 8,000, but I never email. That's not the strategy either. I have to stay consistent with my emails to them.
Yeah.
In the event that the 50,000 member group goes away, the 8,000 people are like, well, who are you? I'm unsubscribing.
Yes. You didn't cultivate a relationship with them.
Right.
You just used their information as hostage collateral.
I'm only going to talk to you when I need you, but if I don't need you, I'm going to be over here.
Yeah, but being consistent, and your consistency can look different. Heather's sending out that email every Wednesday, but your consistency can look like once a month, and that's okay.
Once a month?
It's a lot.
Once a quarter is better than zero.
Absolutely.
That's what we talked about in the Smart Baby Goals.
Yeah.
Is like something's better than that. Consistency in some regard is better than I'm going to send out an email every day and never doing it. Right? And your email doesn't have to be perfect. This is going to be weird. I can already feel this YouTube edit's going to be weird, but we have to get through weird to get to okay.
Yeah. If you heard podcast episode number 1,
it was weird.
It was weird. It was odd. It was odd.
But you have to get out the gate, and then you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Sometimes the listenership on this is lower than it is at other times. And what if we quit every time it dropped?
Oh, we would have quit a long
We'd be like all the other baking podcasts. You just got to power through, right? So, and then you add incentives, which is going to take us to our next segment. We call it the stupid texts.
Yeah.
Code SUGAR, 15% off. And he says stackable.
Oh, nice.
So Phil said, I've never had someone...
Well, explain what a stupid card tray is anyways.
Okay, years ago, Corey shows up with this tray. And if you're like, a tray? No, yeah, exactly what you're picturing. I want you to picture, you get a tray, and you put it in your passenger seat.
It's a tray with 2 legs. Just
it has
2 legs.
Only the side of it. I guess I can talk to you guys. You have the tray, but only one side of it has legs. And it's only designed to go in your passenger seat. Right. Okay, so you put this tray with 2 legs, and if it didn't have legs, it would slant, but these 2 legs make it even. And through the years, they have like a V3 now. Corey has a V1.
I'm a V1.
The V3 now has a non-slide rubber.
Mine has a edge that's not.
Oh yeah, now they have the whole thing.
Nice.
Then do you have the band?
I do have the band.
And then and I thought, and this is why I bought the V3. It has these pockets where you can do add-ons like a Stanley cup holder.
Does yours have this? Because mine doesn't have this. To keep it in the seat.
I also have that rope. Yeah.
A rope? Does it stuff in between the two? No, mine is a wraparound rope. Yeah, that's why I was like, I should upgrade.
Yeah, I don't think that car that I have in it would let me wrap it around because it's two-seater.
I know.
I'm going to be honest. I don't really use the rope. It's hard to get it. The seat has to be ergonomically designed to accept it. Like my seat doesn't have the pass-through.
Yeah.
A pass-through seat, that's going to be genius.
Yes.
Anyway, so Phil, stupid card tray, I cold emailed. If you don't know what that means you email somebody and they've never heard of you before. I cold emailed him and I said, hey, we have this thing. It's called the vending money. I said, you already think this is a scam? I said, but it gets weirder. It lasts for 20. So anyways, I said, do you guys want to sign up? Of course, he never emails back. And I said, Phil, listen. And then he finally like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. He said that was so fun. How else can we be involved with you guys? This was a blast. Thank you guys for making it a blast.
Since the text messaging was coming in, level -1.
So I said, Phil, we have this podcast. What if we have you guys, Stupid Card Tray, their website, stupidtech.com, Stupid Card Tray. What if we had you guys sponsor a texting question? We'll call them Stupid Texts.
That's hilarious.
And he was like, let me do you one better, Heather. I said, and you just give a tray away a week.
Okay.
But they have to claim it within 7 days. And if they don't, you're off scot-free. He's like, no. Let's do that. And I'll give them 15% off. And I was like, okay. He's like, no. And the 15% can stack on any discount we're currently running.
Nice.
Yeah, so these are made in America.
Run discounts throughout the year specifically.
The 15% will go on top of any discount they're running. And I don't know when they run their other discounts, but the code is SUGAR at checkout.
Yeah.
And that'll save you 15%. Now,
all right.
We have a bunch of texts.
Nice.
Okay, pick a number 1 through, okay, hold on. Here's text for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boop. Oh, unfortunately, it's me. It says test.
Can I get yours?
Yeah. Okay, the reason why I texted it is I added their discount code to the automated. I win. Just
okay,
kidding.
then I will go with number 9.
7, 8, 9. Okay. Phone number starts with 850. 850. If you text in the rest of your number within 7 days, email Heather at Sugar Cookie Marketing. The rest of your phone number, you get the tray. If I don't hear from you before the next podcast, you lose but you can keep doing this. You tried.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, twins, finishing up this week's podcast about Meta, and you all are chatting about the second text in what you would do. And a cruise was mentioned. Excuse me, but if you all are together if you all put together sugar cookie marketing cruise, name, date, time. That is all. So that'd be hilarious. Could you imagine?
I could not imagine. You would see me at my best and my worst.
You would. So that's hilarious. 850 if you want to email Heather at sugarcookiemarketing.com the rest of your phone number. You get yourself a stupid card type.
Yes.
The rest of you who did not win one this week, you can win one next week. You just send a text in. I'll start addressing some of these, but let's go through some of these.
Yeah, I like them. You guys are lobbing us some good ones.
Someone said, I'm going to just keep texting and weekly.
Nice.
I hope you guys don't get tired of random, somewhat interesting questions. And this is a great way to get entered to win because you can see Corey just picking a random bun. What are your favorite colors? I'm going to say, what's your favorite color? I'll tell you what she guessed for you.
Okay. Blue.
Yeah.
How does she know?
She guessed green for me. Green for money, I guess. But mine is pink, unfortunately. I did like where coming. That's hilarious. Okay, hi twins, question here. I snagged a year's worth of cookie class cutters from Sweeping Off. Due to personal reasons, I plan to do these as DIY kits.
Nice.
Love that. I know you've recommended advertising all your cookie classes throughout the year. Does the same principle apply when only offering DIY kits? I fear having people sign up too early and then changing their minds closer to the pickup date arrives. Any help is appreciated. By the way, my favorite twin is whoever is reading this. JK, where am I? Great question. So what she's saying, we have the cookie class kit subscription, which is everything you need to teach a cookie class. Not everyone wants to teach a cookie class, but they like the ease of use.
Yes.
Right? So they'll use it, and Corey actually does this too. You'll use them as DIY kits.
I do.
And use all the marketing materials to, instead of push a class, push a DIY kit. And include the PowerPoint. So it's a great way, and somebody had asked this question, do you charge more for that? Yeah, if we're including that PowerPoint or the playlist, charge more for it. So when we market our cookie classes, which I got to post our 2025 classes, like our personal in-person local classes, we post them at the beginning of the year because it allows us every class we teach to tell people, go sign up, go sign up, go sign up.
Yes.
It's easy to do when you have a guaranteed space, but if you have a space that's constantly moving, it's a little harder. She's saying, well, I'm not teaching the class. Do I do the same strategy with DIY kits? I'll let you answer.
My suggestion would be not to do it the same. The reason why is a class kit is a whole event. There's 3 hours. You're making plans with people. It's a lot more invested than maybe, let's say, a $25 to $30 DIY kit. Throughout the year, if the farther away the customer orders from their pickup date, the more apt they're going to forget and create that headache for you. Because you can say, and we all say it, like, if you don't show up, we're going to eat your cookies or whatever. But here's the thing. They don't remember that they ordered it. And then you feel guilty as a business owner. Like, I emailed, I don't know what happened to them. Then they finally email you back 3 days later. It's better to get them while the pipe is hot.
Even worse, she's thinking, and I agree with her, that they'll say, well, I don't want it anymore. Can I get my money back?
And that's so frustrating. That's why when something is a lower buy-in, we want to capture them as close to pickup as we can.
So if you're wondering if that happens when you post your in-person cookie classes for the year, yes, there's people constantly asking for refunds. And if it's outside of the 7 days, they get their refund, right? Yeah. And I process that through
It's just so much less than if it were something like a
low buy,
cheaper DIY.
So, okay, let's say you buy, she has 2023 class kit. She's using them as a DIY kit a month. I'd probably post monthly. Here's the DIY kit. Place kind of like a pre-sale thing. Place your order now, and my pickup days will be this day and this day at this time and this time. Yeah. So I would do that each month. Especially in the beginning of these weird months where the holidays fall in the halves.
The great thing about classes is when the classes end, there is no more class. The class is over.
Thank goodness.
Whereas the DIY kits, they're like, well, your kitchen's in your house. I'm taking it from your house. You can just make me another one. Like the logic doesn't share the same. So when a class passes, someone can't be like, well, I want to go to class. No, the class is over. So you can easily say, well, I'm sorry, the class is passed.
Right.
Whereas if the DIY kit, they assume you can just jump in the kitchen and make another one.
I mean, what else would you think? Is this still recording?
Right. It is.
Great. Cooking with fire here, kids. Podcast 1. Podcast recorded 1. Okay, next. I'll read this one and one more. This was just funny. Hey, twins. I'm sure you never had marketer on your radar as things to do when you grew up. So when you were a kid, what did you dream of doing? Here's the thing.
I was thinking about this.
What did you dream of doing?
Did I have a dream? I oddly thought I would be a teacher. And that floors me.
You and children?
What did I think I was going to do? What did you think you were going to do? Real estate agent?
I mean, if she was talking when I was like a little kid, I want to go to space and go into a dark hole, but a black hole. Then I don't know. I kind of felt like I would be a business owner. I didn't like children. I didn't think you would say teacher.
I was thinking, what did I think I was going to be in high school? Like, what was I working towards? Not much. But I think I thought I was going to be a teacher. Maybe.
Teacher.
But obviously I went to college and did the business degree. So
you just did what I did.
I did. I had no
You should have done teacher then.
No, and then I don't think I can do it now. I think they're hard.
Technically, you're teaching, just not children.
I know.
Just
I love me a good kid. I got one myself. I'm so fond of them.
I have another one. Okay, last one. And these are great. I love this. 571-556-5644. If you just want the code to the stupidtech.com,
Nice.
it'll text you there. Or might as well enter to win a free one.
Yeah.
You can enter in every week. The person who was like, I'm just going to just keep asking you questions. Hi, twins. This is Jade from Happy Place Cookery in Staten Island, New York. I have 2 questions. I'm guilty of the huge 30 option pre-sales. I know. Analysis paralysis. How many is too many? Skull emoji. For Valentine's Day, I'm offering 7 options. And for the Super Bowl, I'm looking at 3 different game day platters with a dozen for each platter.
I think whatever you just said is
That was
super
kind of
smart.
nice. Yeah, I could do that.
What I like to do is you have parents who like to buy for teachers, and they usually want to just buy a one cookie thing because they're buying for multiple teachers. A DIY kit is a nice option because now parents can buy for their kids.
Yeah, the Valentine's Day one's going to exceed the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl one, you have platters, and that's a platter type thing. Nobody's buying like a single cookie for Super Bowl.
I will say a DIY kit for the Super Bowl isn't a bad
Distract
idea.
the kids.
Exactly.
That's not a bad idea. If you're on the Cookie Class Kids 2024, you'd have one. Okay, wait, she's not done with her question. For context, I'm strictly a sugar cookie baker, and I'm super pushing Eddie for this holiday. Secondly, I need some advice for pre-sales. I usually open them a month in advance, and I leave it open to 7 days before the event. I worry that people think about ordering and forget because it's so far out. This holiday, I plan to release my Valentine's Day and Super Bowl pre-sales on Friday, January 31st, and close it on February 3rd, hoping that people begin to think about Valentine's Day as February creeps up and limit the amount of time open so I can create more FOMO. Would love to hear your take. Thanks for all you guys do. All your Facebook groups are tremendously helpful. The Cookie College group included, as I am a new roomie.
Oh, hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Here's the thing. You're right. FOMO is large. It's in charge. It's more pervasive now than it has ever been when it comes to marketing. What is FOMO? That means the fear of missing out. So if I say, Heather, I have 2 Diet Cokes and I've drank in one.
You best believe I'm going to drink that.
We're going to be fighting for the last one because I have told her there's only 2.
But the problem is, okay, you sell the 2 and now we're sold out, right? So the too much FOMO and you maybe left cash on the table, too little FOMO and you got people dragging their feet until they forget.
Yeah, but I like what you're doing.
Pre-sales are tough.
Pre-sales are tough and it's a work in progress. I have figured out. I started doing them with DIY kits. Now my DIY kits do sell out.
Right. So a lot of people will hear this podcast and be like, I'm going to try pre-sale. And then I'll see you in the group in about 2 weeks being like, pre-sales don't work for me ever. I'll never do them again. I did them one time and they didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, no, you have to keep doing it for a bit because the word pre-sale is odd.
The word pre-sale is weird.
Pre-sale. Like it almost is like buy something and don't get immediate gratification. Like, could you?
That's why a lot of people use the word drops.
Drops is good.
Yeah.
Hot Plate works off drops. I was like, what are these drops? And he was like, blah. And I was like, is it a pre-sale? He's like, yeah, I think. Like, a drop means that you get it when it drops. So a Hot Plate, Corey had the Hot Plate guy.
Yeah.
What was his name? Rishi. He did a Hot Plate live in the Sourdough Sellers group. It's a new group. If you haven't joined it yet, go check it out. And so I watched it and I was like, what? Because what is this Hot Plate? Why is it taking off in the sourdough world and the cookie world is like, what?
Yeah.
And I think it's because they call pre-sales drops.
They do. And it makes more sense in the bread world because you're making and baking and its shelf life is so much smaller.
Hot take. It makes more sense in the real world.
It does.
Pre-sales is something I've only ever heard in the cookie world.
Yeah. That's why you have limited release. It's
like think of Target. Like when Summer's always trying to buy something. Like
limited
jelly
release.
cats. Yeah.
Yeah. Exclusive.
Yeah. Waitlist, those types of things. But we're calling them pre-sales.
It's just not as common of a word outside of this industry.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So the drop, do we hype it up a lot and leave the window wide open, which decreases FOMO because there's so much opportunity to buy? Or do we say like you have 1 hour? That does help tremendously in creating FOMO, but it also limits like what if they're not there for the 1 hour, the 2 days?
But I like what she's doing. She shortened it by 2 weeks.
I like it.
That's still a wide open 2 weeks. We're not making anything quite yet.
Yeah.
So you still have your pre-sale time.
Yes.
Your drops time, and you've created FOMO in the process. 2 weeks is enough time. With the right marketing behind it, you can get just as many, if not more sales than a month open. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that. And then I forget about it.
What's interesting, Jade, and Hot Plate kind of integrated this, is it works off of text only. Like you sign up with your phone number. You do not sign up with an email, which is a very interesting thing. Your drops allow people to subscribe through text to learn when your drop is live. So they'll come to your website and it says this pre-sale doesn't start until January 31st. Would you like to sign up for text notifications? We can manually do that if you don't use Hot Plate. I do think it would be confusing to have. And he was like, yeah, people use Hot Plate in conjunction with their website. Yeah. It's a little confusing, but I get why people do it. But you can do that with your email list.
Yes. How about this? Okay. Sometimes making a shorter window for your pre-sale can create FOMO and can happen where you miss out, right? Okay. So missing out on something. Here's the thing. I tried to get my kid into school last year. Almost didn't make it. He got in. The principal emailed and said the first day to pre-register is February 1st. I've added it to my calendar. So what if you do a limited drop? Okay. You sell out. Okay. People miss out. Now you have ripened. You have trained your audience. So make the first few drops take the L of like, I'm not going to sell as much, but this is going to be my marketing. Yeah. No, I think that's a great thing to condition your audience to like, these sell out. Pixie Dust Confectionery. Yeah. She did a Facebook Live. That I think she's since deleted, so you can't watch it. But she was really good at creating this FOMO around these pre-sales. And what she did, she turned Facebook Lives, neither here nor there. She turned them into QVC channels. Yeah. And like, here's what you guys are going to get if you come. I have 4 of these. Yes. Yeah. And it was a very interesting thing. My personal theory is that Facebook's depreciated live reach. But for a while, you could see a live and it would have hundreds, if not thousands of people watching it. So she hyped up that pre-sale, had these limited offerings. She said people are hiding in bushes. Yeah, and when you missed out, you missed out. You truly missed out. And that increased the next pre-sale. Yeah. The people were more hyped. It created more power behind your next pre-sale. Yeah. Just like I have it on my calendar to now get my kid to be number 1 in the class. Pre-sales are delectable because you know how much to bake before you even lift the finger, right? So you have to bake the one that you shop around. But then you're like, okay, I've locked and loaded this many. I know exactly how many sell versus, hey, I'm leaving my orders open. Yeah. It's just a changing of order hierarchy. Yeah. And pre-sales are great for pre-planners, but terrible for last minute. Yeah. And then you have then I think you have these bakers that are like, I'll still take the order in the last second. I know. Which just destroys the perks of the pre-sale. I know. Interesting question. If you guys, and I'll talk about what the Cookie College is in a second, but if you guys want to text in to win a stupid card tray from Stupid Text, send your stupid text to 571-556-5644. Or if you're listening on a podcast player and you see text in, my water bottle saying drink, you see text in, that counts as well. That's where Jade has texted in from. Nice. Tell us about the Cookie College. The Cookie College, what is it? What does it mean? Do you get an actual degree when you graduate? You do. We have a whole processional. You get a flamethrower. You throw your batter in there. Yeah, your whiskey. What the Cookie College is, it's done with you marketing. So when we started Sugar Cookie Marketing, we were just more dropping tips and tricks that we use for our clients daily. But people were like, I want a little bit more. I think I want your hand to hold mine and to draw me through these online marketing channels. So we have created, how many courses are in there now? Because the college gets everything, it's over 100. Over 100 courses, but a lot of them are done with you, and that means we hold your hand. So Heather kept saying Google Business Profile. What is it? What does that mean? Heather takes you step by step through it, how to set yours up, how to utilize it, how to optimize it, what it means for you, what it means for your business. And that's what this done with you. I'm a visual learner, so when we first started talking about the Cookie College, I said it can't just be a written post. I cannot read and visualize what that means. So Heather has set up where she actually screen shares with you as she's going through each and every single step to show you how to set these things up. There's a course on email marketing, which is a big topic that we had. About today. Yeah, great for diversification of content. Photography content. Mm-hmm. That's probably the most taken one. That's my baby child because I made it. Who's biased? She thinks it's the most taken one. Inbox zero. Just like Heather's saying, like your inbox is a big part of your business. It's a big part of your business and how more efficiently you can work within your business. So that's a huge one. Password management. If we were talking about losing your account, it's probably because you have it named I Love My Dog 1 2 3 4. Okay, I want you to confess to the audience. I can see your face. Do you reuse a very, very hackable? My dog. Yeah, if you want to steal my Netflix password. Do you use that password for Netflix for Instagram account? I live in the dark.
Corey can take the password
When
management.
I go to set up an account, it's a heated moment.
I open my LastPass on my phone. I say, "Can you generate a password that's really hard to
Listen,
get?"
it doesn't have to be perfect to start. You can
If you want to learn more about the Cookie College, you can check it out at thecookie.college.com. It is a fun group.
The great thing is you do get a private Facebook group and you do get a private podcast. The Facebook group is why most people are there, mostly because I'm in there, and they're like, "How can I get closer to Corey?"
It's a great strategy session.
It is a great strategy. Mine was a joke, but it's a great strategy.
Yeah, come on.
We have challenges and things like that. So there's so many things that you can get in the Cookie College, whether it feels like you have a community, like actual coworkers, people who are
I feel like it's you got the water cooler. We have the morning thread, which is an off-topic thread.
Challenges. So we do challenges throughout the year to keep you in your business, to keep you invested.
In the next 10 days, I'm posting up my course on the Bamboo A1 Mini, and then I'm giving it to Corey.
Yeah, nice. Can't wait to take the course.
Don't break it.
So there's constantly things that are being added to. If you say in 2025, I want to be a better business baker, then consider the college.
You can join a month. You can join a year. You get a discount if you join the year. But if you join the month, you can come and go as you please. But in that month, you can download everything that we've got.
Yes.
Which is a blast.
What?
So check that out, thecookie.college.com. Corey just dropped a Galentine's Day class. Stupid cute. It has a Stanley in it.
So cute. It's
What's the next class?
Dogs.
And that'll drop February 7th.
Yes.
Yeah, we now designated a specific day. So, because I was saying like the first 7 days. First, it was like the first week of the month. People were like, it's January 3rd, and like Sunday was January 4th. They're like, is it drop tomorrow? Like, no, the first 7 days. They're like, it's day 2. Is it drop? Like, okay, day 7.
I know.
Is the day.
I thought it was more fair to you guys to have just a designated day. Because sometimes I can get it to Heather on time. Sometimes I can't. Most of the times I cannot.
So that's a Cookie College. We did our texting questions. Our sponsors, and welcome to Stupid Card Drive for being a sponsor. That's a code SUGAR.
Yes.
We have Acorn Backers, which is backdrops. That's code Sugar Cookie.
But Acorn Backers changed their name to the Backers
Code. That's code Sugar Cookie.
Yes, singular.
Then we have Bakety Bake Royal Batch. That's code Twins, plural.
Twins.
And then we have Eddie. That's code Pay in Full because Eddie's a direct-to-food printer. So we have now 4 podcast sponsors, which is great. Spances. Thank you guys. Without these would stop.
I know. Bless you.
Yeah, perks to the podcast sponsors, and now you guys get a YouTube video.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now we have to keep consistent.
If this goes terribly, you guys are never see. I want to say the setup you guys aren't seeing is 2 weird desk-mounted tripods.
It's not bad.
It's weird to talk to me. Well, I think Corey posted a photo. It looks insane.
Yes, it does.
Is my snake out now?
It does.
Moving on, the mailbag. Actually, look behind you. I'm so sorry I didn't bring it. That bin, in there are some postcards. I already cut them open, but I didn't open them.
Oh, my soul in my body. Oh, my soul in my body.
The rest of the stuff is from IRS. If you guys want to
pre-opened. This is from the Brookshires. Thank you.
Read aloud.
2024 was quite the year. Our kitchen was remodeled. We traveled a lot. Hurricane Beryl took out the tower for 9 days, and Heather won the Golden Ornament on the Food Network, a secret we had to keep for months.
This is Heather Campbell Berkshire, not me. I didn't win the Golden Ornament. She did not.
This win was the frosting on the cake after 2 previous appearances. Each show has brought new baking friends and amazing experiences she'll treasure forever. We wish you and yours a very happy holiday season and a wonderful new year.
Listen, did I get to the mailbag? I did.
So you got to the mailbag.
They should already be open.
They're not open.
Yeah, they're cut on the edges.
They are. This is a wild way to open things.
Well, I use a paper cutter.
Why is this so funny?
Can you hold it up to your camera?
Oh, it's got to be in line with my face to be focused. I'm so sorry. Meowie, a Christmas, warm wishes, the Olsons. That's so cute. In our second married Christmas, which means you're blessed with our annual Christmas card. Wishing everyone a fun-filled Christmas and ready to see what the new year brings on for our family and yours, ENC.
Okay, little explanation here. These are Christmas cards because we didn't make it out to the mailbag, but we did now. And what a fun way to Christmas just never ends here in January 21st.
Stay in, stay cozy, cat card.
Oh, that's so fun.
Adorable. It's so long. It's from Jaquette Gilbert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Her name's
G. Yeah, G, I know her by that. In full transparency, this isn't the card I ordered. Mine was funny because I know Heather likes them funny. At any rate, I wanted to thank you both for helping me have an amazing year in business. I didn't know it was possible for me to earn what I did and sell what I sold in 1 year. I pray God continues to bless you both. I hope you have a relaxing and safe Christmas. Tell Grams, hey for me. That's so stinking adorable. Wow, there's so many cards.
I know, because we told them we'd definitely check them. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you! Oh, it's so cute. There's some hand-drawn artwork in here.
What is it? Oh.
So it says Super Heather, and you're wearing a cape, and your stink is wearing a cape. So it says Super Corey, and they drew a bulldog.
That's so cute.
It says, I disrupt the sugar cookie industry. What's your superpower? That is so cute. Hoping it's one to cherish. Happy birthday, Corey and Heather. Thanks for making me laugh every Tuesday. I laughed until I cried at the home baker typo story. Jenna, hope to meet you at Cookie Con someday. That was so stinking adorable.
What's the home baker typo?
Horn baker.
Oh, yeah. That one I'll take to migration.
This one has a nice fancy little...
Fancy.
Yeah.
You have to add more
fancy.
stampage.
This is warmest wishes. Like, seriously, like, it's really warm here. And this is from
look
the
at that cute
Lloyds.
family.
2024 has been a wild ride, full of twists, turns, and honestly, a lot of heat. Through it all, though, we've been grateful for the warmth of friends and family, like the good kind of warmth. Here's to cooler, calmer 2025. Warmest wishes. Seriously.
It's been very warm wherever they were.
I know. Okay, last but not least. Oh, it's a very cute card. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. This is from... Why is you signed your name in a way?
A before E.
I know. It's a K and an I and R maybe. And an L, L-L-E-Y.
Okay.
Okay. They're twins. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I can't read it. I received my wonderful Bosch today.
Oh, good.
Nice. Merry Christmas to me. Thank you for the time you guys invest in all of us every single day and for the wonderful 2024 Vendy Blendy. I hope Santa is extra good to you both.
He was.
He was, and that is wrapping us up for the cards.
That was fun.
That was
if
fun.
you guys send more of those.
No, do not make them do that. These poor people.
Okay, do you have a Twinterest?
Do I have a Twinterest? I have been more... Okay, I am bringing it back. Cheers. I've been more hydrated.
I've been hydrated.
Just
I'm fighting a
hydration.
battle.
One of these bottles, to make it it's about 66 ounces. So you'll fill it up about 3 times. 64 ounces is
Here's the funny
8.
part. Corey gave you that a referral code to get the discount.
Someone was buying it.
But did you know Mom bought it? Is that who you were saying?
No, it was other people.
Cheers.
So basically, if you think 64 ounces is 8 glasses of water a day,
Okay.
and that's our daily goal from the app.
I just want to apologize for the last 35 years I've been on this planet. I've been not drinking enough water. If this is what it's supposed to be, I'm in it.
My thing is, though, if I don't start in the morning like I started yesterday after we went to the mall.
You're going to tinkle all night.
I know. I only got to 50%.
Oh, no. I didn't do well either. I have. Yeah, you have.
Yes.
So, whether or not you buy this thing, whether it's more accurate than I thought it would be. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
You were kind of frustrated with him this weekend because you were like, he's not registering. He takes a little bit of time.
I know.
However, just the fact that the cap vibrates, which you guys have heard during this podcast, have you heard any sounds? The fact that the cap is that annoying, it makes me like, it only stop vibrating if you drink it.
Yeah. So I know it has been the Twinterest probably 3 times.
It's this thing is like glued to my left hip.
If, and we said it last week, if health is free, the water inside, why are we going among skincare products for $1 million?
Corey had a good point when she was like, okay, they were like, what's some great ways to refresh your skin? And everyone's like, water. I'm like, no, anything but that one. What can I pay $50 for? Whatever. So Corey was like, how wild is it to go to Sephora and be like, hold the water.
Yeah.
Hold the one thing I know guaranteed works and makes my kidneys happy. And I mentioned this in the last podcast. The cousins that work in the medical field are like, everyone's dehydrated. They're dehydrated. If you come in for a car or something, they're going to be like, you're just dehydrated.
I feel like water has made me less hungry because my belly is filled of water.
You work better.
Does
I
my
guess.
skin look supple? I don't know.
Bar Topple.
No.
Bar Topple. Tell them what you did for Ashley's birthday. No, this is going to be my, hold on, this is my twin twist.
Okay.
These cameras, so Sony A7C, this is a Sony A7C II. I wanted the cameras to match, because if you had a Canon and a Sony, you're going to get two different color temperatures. You're going to get two different production values, and then you got to match that up. I'm not that good. So I was like, let's just get the same camera twice. So these are our older sister's really into like point and shoot, capturing the moment, that Instagram-y vibe.
Yeah.
So these are Instagram-y vibe cameras. So Corey was like, hey, after the podcast, can I take it home and we take photos of life?
Of my life.
You remember what I said is the photos you take from your phone, they're like, I was here. The photos you strategize with like higher end cameras, that's like, I lived this moment. Right. So Corey had the wild hair upper butt to celebrate our older sister's birthday. Did we talk about this on the podcast?
I think it was pre-talk.
Yeah, it was to celebrate. So our older sister is 38.
Yes.
She's a Swiftie. And she's like, it's bummer having a birthday 15 days after Christmas and New Year's and the holidays, because everyone is spent out. This is like, we're on our budget. Like, so sorry, I didn't buy you anything.
You're sad. The bills are rolling in.
So every year she's like, I know everyone has to, by law has to require to keep your attitude up.
To get a better attitude. And I said, wow, not only it's your birthday, but
and also, unfortunately, Ashley does give like the best gifts.
She does.
And I think because she's like giving a gift in that we would give it back to her in the same energy. And
for some reason, we just suckle it up.
Yeah, so Corey's like, this is so funny. Corey makes me, my mom, and my little sister, so the four of us, she's like, we all have to go in and make Ashley's birthday extra special. So Corey's like assigning tasks, like, you're on balloons. And I was on gift bag duty and cake. And Corey like did a lot of the heavy lifting with like decor, and you made a custom cookie set in my 30s era or something for Taylor Swift, and you got her the Taylor Swift book or something.
I did.
And we got these like disco balls, or I'm sorry, mirror balls.
We got mirror ball cups with mirror ball straws.
And then like Corey got streamers and stuff. And so Corey's been so she starts a Snapchat group saying, it's called Ash's One Time I'll Ever Do This Birthday Group. And it was just the four of us in it. Ash, not Ash, Core, Mom, Sam, me.
Yeah.
And I wake up, because Corey wakes up like super early, and I wake up and I'm like looking at it, and Corey's like, here's everything that came in from Amazon that we're going to decorate with. And then Summer, my little sister's like, Corey, you posted this to your public Snapchat stories.
Yeah, when I was...
And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so funny. She was trying to keep this all secret. She accidentally...
When I was filming it, I was like this, and then I had something in my eye, and I did this. And then when I looked, I was like,
and then you never checked Summer's reply? Because you had no.
Then I had to take ours to school. There was all that.
So like I texted Cora, I was like, "Hey, did you mean to unsurprise the surprise party?" We're like, "Oh no, I'm sweating. I was sweating. So Ashley claims she never saw the story.
If she did, bless her soul for keeping it to herself.
So it went really well. So I took this camera and it took some lifestyle.
It did. I love them.
Maybe I should post them to the group so people have to listen to the podcast.
Oh yeah, so they would know. Just an ambiguous.
Yeah. So that's my twin twist. Our older sister Ashley likes this camera. It's Sony A7C. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got the cheapest 50 millimeter lens you could get.
Cheapest 50 millimeter. Okay, I did say we were going to have a little added topic. Sourdough sellers. It's a new group.
Oh.
Honestly, I've been able to post like I used to in SCM.
This is what we had a question of yesterday. Corey and I met at the mall. It was kind of like we live in D.C., so the inauguration truly does shut down roads here. We didn't need to excuse go to the mall, but we went in Rome. So we went to the mall and we said, as groups grow, they tend to lose the one-on-one,
the closeness,
the campfire aspect of the admin team creating the value that you needed to grow the group initially.
Right.
Then you become more of an air traffic controller, like that's over there, don't post that, you're banned, no selling. And you're not so much like, hey,
here's what I learned today.
Here's what I did. Yeah, so Corey's like, well, how can we make that more back into sugar cookie marketing? And she was like, forget it, sourdough sellers. Just kidding. You're getting some questions headed your way.
What brought it to my mind was in Sourdough Sellers, I can be like, and here's the latest with the TikTok ban, blah, blah, blah. And like we're having like these conversations like, where should I go next? Which in a group of 50,000, it's harder to do that because people have I never use TikTok. Like that doesn't add to the value of the post.
Right.
But in Sourdough Sellers, it was only 2,100 people.
Right. So Sourdough Sellers is an interesting place. It's a lot of sugar cookie bakers getting into sourdough, or people that have been in it. But it's still a lot of marketing. So if you guys want to join over there, not all 50,000.
No.
But join over there if you're interested in adding sourdough to your. Corey and I said that sourdough works on economies of scale. So you have to sell a lot. One, because that discard is just mass producing.
Yes.
Right? So you have to move product. Versus sugar cookies, we can say we can sell for a lot more. So you want to, there's a ceiling for bread costs. You can't charge $30 for a loaf.
Yeah.
Unless maybe you decorate it with gold. But it's a different animal. So we couldn't get them to line up perfectly enough that the sugar cookie marketing group, which is very niche, could also be like, and here's how to sell sourdough. So we just said, let's create this other group. It was an interesting theory.
If you didn't know, my recipes are pinned in the files.
Yeah.
It's a little Easter egg for you.
And Corey's going to be working on a how to get started in sourdough course.
Yeah.
That'll be free over there.
Yeah, I thought it'd just be fun.
I think we'll do
and
that
my
in
goal for
February.
2025 is to teach a sourdough in-person class.
Yeah, my parents got their kitchen remodeled and put in this just massively long island.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for it.
And this is what Corey and I do. We took a cookie class and we started teaching cookie class. And we took a sourdough class last year. And she had this really long island. It must be in style for new build homes.
Yeah.
And then my parents put it in and they said we were free to use their kitchen.
I think it would be the great and it's going to be a small class, little intimate 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, she had 10.
She did, and I feel like I need 4 or 5. I don't think I want to have a thing.
I would say give your first class, shoot for 4. That's great.
Yes.
You don't need to overwhelm yourself. There will be issues. First time doing anything, there's problems.
Absolutely. Still recording.
Still good. But yeah, it'll be interesting. So if you're like, hey girls, I would like to see what you look like,
And
you can search sugar cookie marketing on YouTube.
And if you're seeing this on the tubes of you, find us in Facebook.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. If you came from our new lead source, we'd like to invite you to the Facebook group of 50,000 people we don't really connect with.
And if you want to jump the line, say when it says, how did you hear about us? Just put YouTube.
You
and
liar.
podcast. I let them all jump.
Oh, you do?
All the time. If I see that, you're in.
One time I searched, somebody was like, hey, I've been pending for a while. Like, it searched, like, you can type in, if you guys haven't moderated a group, you can go to pending users and type in, like, let's say I type in Stacy. Yeah. So it pulls up all the Stacys. Like, likely I was looking for the most recent Stacy, but there were Stacys pending from 2020.
Sorry, Stacy.
A 2020 Stacy?
Questions correctly. It's so
Can you
hard
mass reject people who didn't answer the questions?
You can all remind them to answer the question. That would be annoying.
How many pending members are there?
8,000.
Crazy. How many pending members are for Sour to Sauce?
140.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
There's
Corey's
so
like,
many.
I'll handle group management, and I never say best of luck to you guys. You guys figure it out.
That's all I had for today.
Okay, say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye.